EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the architectural wonder that is the Mercedes-Benz Stadium in downtown Atlanta. A moment ago, here was the scene. The Falcons coming out from their tunnel to the roar of all the folks here in Atlanta. We're ready for football as these Falcons get set to match up with Eli Manning and the New York Giants. Here's the kicker, Aldrich Rosas, ready to get us going. The ball on the tee. We're set for football. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. On second down, Freeman takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Kareem Martin in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. Manning and the Giants come up now 1st and 10 at their own 42. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short. A great rookie season for Barkley, over 1,300 rushing yards, 2nd in the NFL, 11 rushing touchdowns. Also a big asset in the passing game, 91 catches, most by a rookie in NFL history.
Yeah, second only to Christian McCaffrey in 2018, not counting the rookie status at all. How about 2,028 yards from scrimmage, which led the NFL.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing you cannot do, they did.
Throwing is Manning on 3rd down. Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. For the Falcons, Charles, we talked all year about the injuries that they had in 2018, and you kind of touched on it earlier, too. It's hard to get around them, though, when you look back at this past year. So they go to 7-9, and I know that that's not what they wanted, but with all the injuries, is that okay?
It would be if you didn't think you were going to the Super Bowl. You know, if you didn't think you had a chance at that, and they did going into the season. But when you lose your starting safeties in Ricardo Allen and Keanu Neal, your middle linebacker, Deion Jones, for a long stretch of time, you end up starting 1-4. Then in the second half of the season, you have a 5-game losing streak. 7-9 is actually better than I thought that they were finishing because of those 2 long losing streaks.
On 3rd down, Ryan. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
4th down. Here's Ryan. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. inside the 25. That one good for 17 yards on fourth. Couldn't ask for much more from your offense there. First down. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. A first chance in the red zone for the Falcons now. They have a 1st and 10 at the 13-yard line. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one,
and he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Mohamed Sanu, a 15-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons are in for 6.
And no matter how it comes about, when you get good field position, you have to make the defense pay. Short fields usually make for good offense.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Before this next drive gets going, we need to discuss the Hall of Fame inductees. There will be 8 in the 2019 class. We got Champ Bailey, Tony Gonzalez, Ty Law. Who else am I forgetting in there?
Well, how about a big guy, a lineman, Kevin Mawai, who was absolutely terrific in his career. How about Ed Reed with the Baltimore Ravens and the great job he did in the secondary there. Pat Bowlen, Gil Brandt as contributors, the owner of the Broncos and the longtime scout with the Cowboys. And I love the senior committee bringing in Johnny Robinson, the safety with Kansas City.
Tony Gonzalez was a first ballot guy. And, of course, when I hear Ty Law's name, you think, wow, he started this great Patriots dynasty that we're still living in.
You're exactly right. And the Patriots, with all of their championships, probably underrepresented in the Hall of Fame.
Manning going to throw. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It'll be a pickup of 8 on the screen, and it sets up a 3rd down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Manning to throw on 3rd and 1. He finds Beckham complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First catch there for OBJ, and that good for a 1st down. Manning now, after the pick on the last drive, 3 for 3 to start this drive. It's 1st and 10. A handoff to Barkley. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. Manning to throw on 2nd down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Third and long for the Giants, and Eli following the sack. Now Manning. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Here we go on 4th down with Manning. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Vic Beasley in there to drop it for a loss of nearly 20 yards. Well, that, my friend, I guess is the definition of a head-scratcher. 4th and long, this stage of the game. What were they doing?
I just have to believe that he looked at the situation, still in the first half, decided there's a time to be aggressive. Now is it, because there's still time to make up for it if things don't go right. Of course, a lot of questions on this one, and look, I want to go for it as much as anyone.
But 4th and long?
Yeah, I don't think I would have there. That one seemed a little bit on the irrational side.
Fans might be a little angry at that one. Ryan going to give to Freeman on the draw. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. The safety Landon Collins there to make the tackle.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Olivier Vernon with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7. So a field goal try here on 4th down as the Falcons call on Matt Bryant. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And Bryant's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Giants set to get the football back, and they're coming off a 5-11 season. Now, look, that's an improvement from 2017, but still it's 8-24 the last 2 years. So, okay, you talked about earlier their need to get big guys up front to protect the quarterback. You got the number 6 overall pick in this next year's draft. Where are you going?
You would think if you could get someone like a Quentin Nelson who went to the Colts last year, you would want to do that. But there's also a chance they can get their future quarterback with the number 6 pick. So you might have to go in that direction and then come back and get the big guys later in the draft. Sitting in that number 6 spot, they will have a good chance at getting one of the top quarterbacks in this year's draft.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Working from the gun, Manning. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. He was looking for Odell Beckham that time, and it'll bring up 3rd down. One final try now for Manning. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. A final shot before break. Manning. And he's going to go down. So they pass up the field goal attempt to go for 6, but as a result, they leave points on the field, and that's going to do it for this first half. And now, due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning of the second half. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And the Giants ready to come out now. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. Line of scrimmage, again, the 25, 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Manning. And that'll be incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. And that'll make it 3rd down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw. Unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. They'll try to get the ground game going with Freeman. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. Freeman a first down and more, and he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman taking it in from the 20, and the Falcons will add on to their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Well, it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
New York set to take the field. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows a coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe you'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
Foyesade Oluwakan made the tackle there from his safety position. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They'll go to Barkley again. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Manning over the middle to Beckham. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. Manning now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now Manning steps away. Now he'll throw deep left side. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. On 3rd and long, it's Manning. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. They do go for it. It's Manning. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And he will take this across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
Well, the timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Hey, let's go.
A handoff, Devontae Freeman. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Freeman again. And they go backwards here. Losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. 3rd and long. It's Ryan. And this is going to be incomplete.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. On 2nd down, here's Manning. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up 3rd. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
To throw on third down, Manning. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Tech McKinley able to disrupt yet another pass play. His third sack of the afternoon. Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on fourth down. Now Manning, gotta have this one. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. The Giants go on fourth, but come up empty. And an utter disaster as the ball's going to go over on downs at the 2-yard line. And what can they do here on second and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. Following the fumble recovery, it's Ryan. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target, and that'll bring up second down.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Landon Collins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. 2-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
So after the INT, it's Manning out to his left. And this one's incomplete. He started out having some troubles back in the first half connecting with his receivers. Really hasn't gotten a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's at less than 50%, and you and I both know that just won't do. So I would think about spreading things out, putting it on the receivers, make them win those one-on-one battles on the perimeter and find their way open.
They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10. Manning again here on 2nd and 10. Wide open receiver complete. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nobody wants to be shut out. They go play action here on first down. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard, and that'll bring up second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Manning. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Remember, throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. 3rd and long for the Giants, and Eli following the sack. Shotgun now for Manning. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Ricardo Allen with a pick, and the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
After the interception, here's Ryan. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. The Falcons on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Ryan. Caught by Sanu. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. Ryan to Sanu, good for an Atlanta first down. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now Ryan on first down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Now it's Ryan. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Julio Jones, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Falcons will extend their lead. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 23. Here's Bosher to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Giants. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Tack McKinley. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Manning now to throw. Now a desperation. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. It's Desmond Trufant. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Ryan wants to throw it. Drops it off for Coleman. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 24 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. On first down, Ryan. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Ryan. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Austin Hooper, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Falcons turn that interception into a touchdown.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know. Are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room, get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes coaches say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one gets hurt. But others will look at it and say, we still have an opportunity to do something.
On the line.
Exactly. You have pride on the line.
And my goodness, another interception. It's Desmond Trufant. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not all.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. I tell you, Charles, you play to the final whistle, I get that, but there are a few folks that might not be too happy with that score late in the game with it already well in hand.
You seem a little squeamish about that last score.
I struggle with it. I struggle. But on the other, the argument, I get it, on the other side is, hey, do something about it. Stop them.
Now, I guarantee you, I know who was really excited. Fantasy owners who had them. Hey, listen, get the points for me. They're not worried about hurt feelings or anything like that. That's just new age stuff.
Up big, and they go for 2, and they get it.
I remember being in high school and seeing an article in the paper where a local columnist had said, why are we fighting over sportsmanship and running up the score? Just run it up on everybody and deal with it. Some people just don't care that way, and obviously this coach feels the exact same way.
So that article is saying the defense should be able to stop them.
That's what they're trying to say. Hey, if you don't want it to happen, stop them. Otherwise, quit whining about it.
Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo. And he's hit and taken down. Eli sacked. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. From the gun, it's Manning. He's going to let it fly. He's got a man, complete. And all the way down to the 37. Oh, wait, hold everything. A timeout has been called. Seemingly silly with 1 second remaining in this game. Aldrich Rosas now to try the Giants field goal. This from 54 yards away. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is. The storyline of this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Falcons here as we say so long from Atlanta.